Robert De Niro has played in some great movies like A Bronx Tale and Cape Fear, but this movie from 2002 called A City by the Sea is not among those. It is not necessarily a problem either with De Niro's role, because he seems really like the only actor that gives a damn about this movie. It is like he is stuck in a time loop where he acts really good, while the other actors just put out mediocre performances. Because in the son-father relationship you see wholehearted what De Niro is made of, and it's a shame that they wasted his talent in such a bad movie, because although it starts better than it ends, it is really a very thin story about drugs and violence. James Franco does a standard drug dealer role, and it just stays purely in the comfort zone, and although he is not as bad as the other actors perhaps, he does not give a lot of himself in this movie. I get that the story is based on something, but when there's only one good actor on display, the movie can't be saved, and in many of the scenes, this movie is just plain boring. There's way too much focus on the relationship between Vincent and Michelle, and not too much on the actual father-son relationship, which you only see come along by the end of the movie. Movies like this, when there's too much focus on the drugs as part of the story, is often movies that lacks entertainment. And this one is no exception to the rule. You miss better characters in this one, and although it is mostly just about drugs and gang violence, it's a movie where I feel better actors should have been added to support De Niro. James Franco does okay as a drug dealer, but none of these other actors should necessarily have been in the movie. It's probably not necessarily the case, then it should have been more action either, because you do get some excitement when they try to catch Vincent's son in the end of the movie, and you feel perhaps that it's the best part. But the part leading up to those final moments, there's too much intrigues with characters in Gina and Spider, which makes it a little hard to follow along the lines. There's a case where there's also much too much of emotion between, for instance, Vincent and Michelle, or Gina and Joey. It's a case where they try to push it so much it becomes unnatural. At least the case when De Niro acts on the emotion, it becomes entertaining, but that cannot really be said about all the other actors. That's why for me this one is a 4 out of 10, and I was really not entertained, and I think it's the worst movie Robert De Niro has ever played in.